all right, to prepare for trying to get a transplant. First, first day you go in there, talk to your social worker. Say, hey, look, I want to see about getting on this list so I can get a transplant. She said, okay. Now, once she said, okay, it's going to take you 5 to 6 months before you even see the doctor, because they're going to look at all your blood work and everything for 6 months that you done. So that means while you doing your dialysis, don't skip. Don't shorten your treatments and all like that. Stay your full time. Come to dialysis every day, because the time you shorten, believe it or not, shortens the time of your life. And it really does. If you don't believe me, ask your social worker, ask your caseworker. Tell her to watch this video and tell me anything I said was wrong. And they'll say, no, he told the truth. You do all your time. You do what you gotta do. Don't smoke. Don't drink. God knows don't do no drugs, because those things will disqualify you from getting a kidney. I'm gonna be honest with you. A lot of those things right there disqualify you. And also, if you gain weight, work on losing weight, because once you get a kidney, you can be eligible for the kidney and a pancreas. You see, because like I said, I'll get to all that in a minute. But like I say, you take those steps to get to where you need to go. All right, you done waited there 6 months. Now that 6 months come, they say, okay, we got a doctor. They're gonna ask you where you want to get your kidney at. You got 3 states to choose from. 3 choices. You can get it from this state, that state, or the state you're in. You don't have to just say your state. You can get them from different states. Now, if you got the accessibility to drive to those states, then yeah, because usually with Social Security and stuff like that, you are able to have transportation drive you to some of these places that you cannot afford to go to, because they have things like that, or they will help you get situations where you can get to that. Like, since I'm a veteran, I have some special things that veterans get. Like, the VA will help you. Like, I was looking at a couple more states, another hospital, Arshner, and the VA. In the VA, they will set you up, since you got 3 different states, they will set you up with a plane that will fly you to those states at a moment's notice. They will give you a whole package, and they will give you a number. If you're a veteran, listen to this. They will give you a number where you call a whole list of, I think it's like 4 or 5, I think it is, plane services, because they got volunteer pilots and stuff who own planes that already stand by 24 hours a day to fly you to where you got to get your kidney at. Because I think you got so many hours before the kidney is no more good to fly to those places. But believe me, they will get you there in time. But anyway, like I say, once you see that doctor, they're going to set you up. That day you go see the doctor, you're going to go through a slew of tests that day to prepare you. And they're going to look at all your blood work, they're going to look at this and look at that, and let you know if you're eligible for a kidney or not. And if things go straight, you will be eligible. And if you lose enough weight, you will be eligible for not only a kidney, but also a pancreas if you're on dialysis. I mean, if you're a diabetic. Because if you're not a diabetic, sometimes you have to take insulin because of the medicine you're going to take for your kidney. So, like I said, you're going to go through there, you're going to see the doctor, they're going to say, okay, this, and this. Now, that's 6 months. Now, in some states, it takes up to 5 years before you get, you're at the top of the list to get a transplant. Some states, I know in California, and I think it was Pittsburgh or somewhere, it's 20 years. So you want to look at states that got that low count of how long it's going to take. Because believe me, I did not want to work 20 years to try to get a transplant. All right. Let's say we doing everything you need to do, right? You saying your prayers, you eating your vitamins and all like that. Well, eating vitamins, saying prayers. Anyway, which one I want. So you get that phone call. Okay, look here. They're gonna say, "Oh, we got it." They're gonna, well, like when you get. No, let me back up a little bit. When you get to the doctor, and that first visit, when they do all the blood work, they're going to tell you all about transplants. They're going to tell you this and tell you that. Now, one of the things I did not know is that people die every day on kidney, with this disease. It ain't like I didn't know that. But a lot of people would die waiting on a transplant. I'd rather be one of the ones dying waiting on a transplant than the ones that not doing nothing and just didn't give it a fighting chance. You want to give it a fighting chance no matter what you do. Now, once they do all that and they see everything right, they're going to tell you. They're going to say, well, like for me, I'll never forget this. And my friend passed away. And God love him. Hey, when I first went to see the doctor, they said, hey, we're going to go and they looked at everything and said, yes, you eligible for a kidney. And they had all us in the room, people that were eligible for the kidney sitting there, and they'll tell you, said, we're gonna call you, we're gonna tell you about this kidney. It's possible it might have hepatitis C, or we're gonna tell you that person was a drug user or this and that. And a lot of people say, oh no, I never forget this. On my 5th year, I was coming up, and I never forget, they said, well, we're going to be calling you sooner or later. And I could not make this up. I never forget. I turned down 5 kidneys in over 35 days, I think it was. Yeah. And I never forget, my friend, bless his heart, Ezel, love it, man. He was in the dialysis center with me. And he looked and said, George, I don't see how you can do it. I said, what, Ezel? He said, I don't see how you can sit there and pass up 5 kidneys because a lot of them had hepatitis C. And I thought about it. I said, you know what? I don't know what for some reason I was thinking I was going to be stuck with hepatitis C, but they have a pill. Trust me. They have a pill you take for hepatitis C that will clear it in 6 weeks. You take that pill for 6 weeks, you'll be good. It's 6 weeks, I know, but I'm just say 6 to 8 weeks, but I definitely know it must have been 6 weeks, I think it was. And that's when I said, man, I am not passing up another kidney. And I never forget, Arsenal Hospital called me. They said, we got a kidney for you. I said, I'll take it. And the lady said, you don't want to hear about it? I said, no, just give it to me. So I drove to Arsenal. Got in the room, got up there, because they gon' like when you get there, they're gonna tell you to go to the emergency room. You go to the emergency room, you tell them what you did, they're gonna shoot you straight up to the room. And they got me all dressed in my little one piece nightgown with the back open in the back that you gotta walk sideways because you know it ain't that kind of party. So no, I'm so stoked. Anyway, I sat on the bed and we were waiting on the doctor. The doctor come in there and tell you how the kidney was and all like that. And I never forget the doctor came in there. He said, "Well, I looked at this kidney all kind of ways, and I don't think it was no good for you. I wouldn't feel right putting that kidney in you." And they sent me home. I was crushed. I ain't gonna lie, I was crushed. Because not only was that a long drive back home, because that wasn't part of the VA, so I had to drive there. If it was a VA, the VA would have flew me. And we drove home, and I was sitting there. I'll never forget. I was sitting there. And I said, "It's gonna be all right," cause it was close to New Year's. It was close to New Year's. I said, "I'm gonna get one before New Year's Eve. I mean, for New Year's Day. I mean." So we waited and waited and waited. Then got another phone call. "Hey, got one for you. I'll take it. Just put a receipt on it. I'll take it." She said, "You don't want to hear about it?" "Nope, I'll take it." Gassed up, headed back down that way. Didn't nobody really talk on that trip, cause you still feel effects of the last trip you took when the kidney was no good. So I got back in my little onesies, looking as debonair as I did, had my little pillow with me, and no, I didn't bring a rubber ducky. We'll talk about the rubber ducky later. Anyway, we never forget it. Doctor came in there, still sitting on the side of the bed, said, "Look, everything looking good. Young, healthy kidney. Hey, we're gonna do this." Still didn't believe him. I said, "Okay, Doc." I'm sitting on the bed talking to my daughter, talking, yeah, whatever, blah, 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 whoop, whoop. They said, "Mr. Johnson, would come here and get it." They rolled my little limo up in there, tucked me in there all night. So I says, "Oh, I'll see you later, big soul." And rolled on out of there. We was laughing and joking all the way down there. I said, "A pimp ride," because they lifted it up a little bit. I said, "Hydraulics." I whoop, whoop, whoop. And I never forget, they prepped me up and everything. I'm still good to go, because I don't believe none of this. They got me in the operating room. Still didn't believe it. He said, "Hey," I said, "How you doing, Doc?" He said, "I need you to do me a favor." I said, "What's that?" "Count to from 100 backwards." I said, "Okay." 100, 99. "Mr. Johnson." "Mr. Johnson, huh? What, huh? It's over with." "What?" "You transplant." "What?" I was high as a kite. Now you gotta understand this. I don't drink. I don't do drugs. I don't smoke. And I'm an ex-Marine. And that's like a miracle shot in itself. But whatever they had me on, I was with the Commodores, because I was float on, do, float on. Hey, my name is Leo. Anyway, I'm sorry. If for y'all don't know who the Commodores is, look them up. And anyway, I remember roll up in the room. I said, "Hey, so what's up?" I'm hiding Cooter Brown. And I remember, because I was in and out thinking I was in a dream. And I remember they was taking this tape see-through tape from me. I was too weak to fight. And all that I said was, "Leave me alone." They lifted me up, put me in the bed. They said, "Mr. Johnson." I said, "Yeah." He said, "We're going to get you this." I said, "Okay." He said, "This is morphine." Now remember, I don't do drugs. I'm scared of drugs. The strongest thing I ever had was Tylenol with hydrocodone in it, or whatever they call it is. And I seen a giant spider crawled on the wall and told the doctor never give me nothing like that again. The only strong as I take is a tramadol, but anything strong than that I don't want to mess with. So anyway, he said, "Anytime you feel some pain, it hurt too bad, press this little button." That next morning, he rode in there. He said, "Miss Jones, I'm going to take this from you." I said, "Why?" He said, "You done broke our machine. You done pressed it so much, I broke the thing." I was feeling good, dog. I was feeling good. But anyway, I was happy. I had my transplant, and they had that thing they put in you where you pee, but you don't pee on yourself and it go in. I forgot what you call it, catheter or whatever it is, and peeing in a little jug thing. I was filling them things up like a racehorse, and I stayed in there and stayed in the hospital. And with Arsenal, that's a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful organization. I cannot say enough about those people. And I made them laugh up in that hospital. It was wrong, the things I did in that hospital, but God gonna forgive me one day. But anyway, where was I at? Oh, yeah, leave me alone. Yeah, okay, here we go. So they kept me in the hospital, and cause that's when I found out. See, when my daughter was, you gotta understand it. See, when my daughter was little, we always watched things together. And her favorite little show when she was a little kid was The Frog and the Princess. And I even liked the movie. And one thing I always hear was about a beignet. Now, if you do not know what a beignet is, do not try to find out what a beignet is. Because a beignet is a powdered donut that's on crack. Beignet comes from the devil kitchen himself. That's the best way I can put it. Because when I never forget, I was in the hospital down there. I kept saying, yeah, I hear about all these beignets and beignets and beignets. And the nurse said, you know what? I'm gonna have my boyfriend. He got to go buy La Pot du Mar. It's just a restaurant that makes nothing but beignets. That's all they do. Serve beignets and milk and coffee down in the French Quarter in New Orleans. And I said, give me a beignet. And she said, I'm gonna have a boyfriend bring you one. So they brought me a beignet. Why? I heard drugs are addicting. Sometimes it take a person a long time. Sometimes it take a person not so long. People. I took one bite. My eyes rolled up in the back of my head. And I started just saying, oh Lord, take me now, Jesus. Just take me. Ooh, it's so good to my soul. Halashanda la 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 la, loose Satan. It was so good that I kept the bag later on. I had my finger dipping in there, licking the white powder out. That's how addicting a beignet is. If you ever get a chance to get a beignet, don't do it. Don't. Ask somebody that had one. They will tell you the same thing. Oh Lord, I forgot. You see, you made me think about a beignet now. I was all good to help you out, but now you messed me up. Help me to help you. Help me to help you. Okay? Keep me straight. All right, this is one step at a time program, people. So anyway, now you had your kidney transplant. Now it's time for the real deal, because they tell you what you need to bring down there. They will tell you need $1,500 with you. When you come to get that, when you come down to where you get that transplant, they're going to tell you need $1,500. You said, what am I going to do with $1,500? Why I need $1,500? It's real simple. If you're on Medicare and Medicaid, they're going to cover a lot of that medicine. But some of that medicine is going to cost you. You're going to have a copay. Sometimes a copay is going to be a lot. And when I'm saying a lot, because I was paying, sometimes paying $50, $60, $100 for some medicine. Like it's 3 major medicines you're gonna take while you're on dialysis. That's my prednisone, my carpolated, sodium bicarbonated, and what's that other one name? I cannot think of the name.